Picture criminal justice as a service like TV streaming or a social media service. The provider of the service is the criminal justice system, and the users of criminal justice are everyone in the country of that criminal justice system. What do you think is the role that users should have in deciding what services is provided? Before we get to that question, I want to paint a clear picture of what the criminal justice service looks like. The service that is criminal justice has many purposes, but they usually fall under two categories: crime prevention and criminal justice. Crime prevention, or stopping a crime from taking place, focuses on researching into causes of crime and implementing measures that will make committing crime more difficult. Criminal justice, where stakeholders of the crime receive the legal rights they deserve, ensure that offenders are fairly sentenced and that these sentences are carried out with proper due process. Now you might be wondering, how effective is the criminal justice system? One study conducted in 2022 by the Sentencing Council in the UK showed that the majority of people who came in contact with criminal justice agencies, which includes police, courts, and probation services, found the experience to be mostly or very positive, and more than half of community members felt that the criminal justice system was effective and fair. These are good numbers, and the figures show that from 2018 to 2022, most of the reactions to criminal justice system has become more positive, but there are still categories, especially when it comes to experiences with police and courts, that show that responses to criminal justice has actually become more negative as well. Now the question I want to ask you today is whether the involvement of the users of criminal justice through local communities would improve those services. You might be wondering, what does this community involvement look like? Criminal justice agencies have devised different ways in which individuals can participate in criminal justice, whether that is directly as lay judges to decide cases that may have less serious offences, which is referred to as magistrates in England and Wales, or through assisting in changes of criminal justice policy by voicing opinions at local council meetings organised by criminal justice agencies, even in some cases helping to shape criminal justice policies themselves. When it comes to support for the victim, local communities can take part in community conferencing, a form of restorative justice where individuals can attend to help victims of crime confront their offender and find closure by voicing the harm caused to the victim alongside a trained mediator. These methods have allowed for the community members to become more involved in justice administration and voicing their justice needs in order for the criminal justice system to understand and address those needs that are specific to a person's race, religion, culture, gender, and mental health, among others. Think about it. Are there aspects of your personal needs that you, as a user of criminal justice, want the criminal justice system, the provider, to be more considerate of? Advocates of community involvement also believe that having people be more active in criminal justice services can help to fix the mistrust that has existed from the community towards criminal justice agencies, most notably police, by giving people more agency in delivering criminal justice. Despite this, there is still discourse among criminal justice professionals on the level of community involvement there should be in criminal justice, based on whether it would be more helpful or harmful. One argument raised is that being responsive to individual needs would mean giving some people special treatment, and therefore would go against treating everyone equally. Some criminal justice professionals also argue that they are the most qualified to decide on how criminal justice is implemented, as they believe that community members aren't trained in criminal justice and would result in criminal justice services being negatively affected. This includes the improper judgment of cases due to limited understanding of criminal justice by community members, ineffective policy making as a result of the conflict of different thoughts and ideas on how to shape policy, and inadequate support for victims because of lack of experience. These perceived limitations of community involvement have consequences for the stakeholders involved in the crime, where victims and offenders can suffer from the latter's disproportionate sentences or unfair policies, While in terms of community conferencing, the presence of community members could make victims feel overwhelmed and in some cases traumatized. On the other hand, there are also criminal justice professionals who believe that the community can work alongside criminal justice professionals and can help the community to make changes to criminal justice that are more responsive to user needs and thereby addressing the limitations. But is the involvement of the community in criminal justice a help or a hindrance? The argument is still ongoing, but what do you think? Is community involvement in criminal justice something that should be increased?